Welcome to All Things San Antonio, the ultimate podcast dedicated to the heart and soul of the Alamo City. I'm one of your hosts, Brad Burns.
And I'm Ken Carter.
And together, we're your guides on this exciting journey through an inside look of San Antonio's culture, history, and community.
In each episode, we'll uncover the hidden gems, share captivating stories, and explore the vibrant neighborhoods that make San Antonio so special.
Whether you're born and raised San Antonian or just passing through, our podcast will bring you closer to the essence of this incredible city. From the mouth-watering cuisine to the iconic Riverwalk, we've got it all covered.
So whether you're planning your next visit, looking for insider tips, or simply want to immerse yourself in the unique charm of San Antonio, you're in the right place. Sit back, relax, and let's embark on a captivating journey through all things San Antonio.
Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's go. San Antonio!
San Antonio!
Welcome to All Things San Antonio podcast with your host, Brad Burns and
Ken Carter. Sorry, I'm a little overwhelmed by he's having a great time playing with our soundboard. Next thing you know, you're gonna have like a little laptop with like a huge soundboard. You're gonna have every little clown noise, trombone.
I might.
You know, now it's spoken it into existence. It became an idea.
Have you ever been on a mastermind call with Ray Allen with Real?
Mm-mm.
I don't know how he does it, but he has like sound effects and songs for everything. So anytime somebody says something, he'll like throw a song on there, and super cool.
One of my favorite. I guess it's not really a podcast. It's a live comedy show. The comedian will do a 1-minute bit, and then afterwards they'll start kind of asking them questions about it. And it's usually a sad story. And so the next thing you know, they have a little soundboard. It's like the violin, and it's like just making
the
fun.
World's smallest violin.
Yeah, it's amazing that people will bare their souls and do 1 minute of comedy in front of people when they almost inevitably suck. And then the whole concept is then you get just torn apart and roasted by these professional comedians. It's like it's hilarious.
I want to go do that one day.
We should go. It's fun.
Yeah. So spring is in the air.
Spring is in the air. Blue bonds.
I was trying to figure out. So you know how April showers bring May flowers? So we had a bunch of January showers. So we're going to have flowers in February?
We should have, I would imagine, I bet, well, it's going to be too cold, but like we should have a good bluebonnet season this year, which is always a fun photo shoot time for San Antonio. Every San Antonian or South Texan has their perennial family photo shoots with the bluebonnets. But I hear you're not such a fan of going out there and taking pictures in flowers.
No, when I was a kid, like we would pull over sometimes down on the way to the coast. They have like bluebonnets everywhere.
Isn't it amazing how you can take like literally a drainage ditch on the side of a highway that has flowers on it? You take the pictures and they turn out and look amazing. It's like, oh, where'd you find this? Oh, literally at the mile marker 59 on 281.
But you know, that's why Texas is the most beautiful country in the United States.
Mm-hmm. One of them, because of our flowers, Lady Bird Johnson.
Yeah,
was a big push for it.
I don't think we have another country as beautiful as Texas in the United States.
We don't have another country as beautiful as Texas. Well, I jokingly used to say a long time ago that there's going to be a civil war, and like it's just now it's getting a little bit like too close, too real down. Like little, like I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting year.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of that stuff happens. But going back to the bluebonnet pictures, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Well, to keep it dark, do you know where our favorite place was to do bluebonnet pictures when the kids were little?
I'm going to guess the cemetery?
It was a cemetery. The cemetery in Castroville has like the best like bluebonnets throughout the whole place. You just kind of jumped the fence and everything, and nobody minded. I mean, nobody spoke up and said, hey, we don't want you around here. So I felt like it was okay, but it made great pictures.
I'm sure it has good fertilizer. Oh, man. But no, I don't like taking pictures in the bluebonnets.
That's what I hear.
For some reason, I just have stuck in my head where there's bluebonnets, there's rattlesnakes. And I just know I'm going to lay down to take the picture in the bluebonnets or sit down and take a picture in the bluebonnets and I'm going to be done.
Well, it's the pictures, you snap them and you get the nice photo with the smiles. But before that and after that, everybody's worried about snakes. or they're like, my legs are itchy because they're in the high grass now and everything like that. So, like, it's never really the most pleasant experience, but you get that moment.
See, but I feel like technology has helped us so much these days.
Just Photoshop it in.
We could just Photoshop. If you go to your iPhone and you hold down the picture, you could take a picture facing the highway, hold down the picture.
Do the sticker thing.
Do the sticker, pull yourself over, copy and paste it onto there.
I'm never believing any more of your post pictures that you're ever at the coast, that you're ever anywhere. You're staying at home, just moving photos around.
I was actually doing that. I was trying to take this Christmas picture. And my plan was to buy Delilah, my wife, like a canvas print of the family for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And so this will come out after that, so I don't worry about using it. And but the only picture I could find was like Christmas background. So I was copying and pasting the picture like that. And she caught me doing it. But I was just trying to put us in the middle of the street somewhere because I like to do funny stuff like that. So that didn't work out too well. But I'm going to find a place to copy and paste us that's pretty unique.
Should put it by the pyramids or something.
That's a good idea.
or up on the Great Wall of China.
Or in Dubai or somewhere crazy. Or on the moon, right?
There you go. We'll have a base there soon enough.
Yeah.
Have a launching point.
The Space Force.
The Space Force. I actually saw a video, like, if anybody's thinking about joining the military, I'm way too old, but like that's the branch of service that's probably like the best one to go into right now is Space Force, because you're at the beginning of something that's inevitable to like grow and become bigger and become whatever the Starfleet Federation from Star Trek. I mean, sometimes I think I was like, are we literally like watching when Kirk goes back and he's riding the motorcycle and like back on Earth, and it's like, okay, are we really at that point where we're about to like just start going off into space?
So, I'm not a big like news watcher and things like, especially state or national news. And it was up until I was in the airport about a year or so ago. I thought the Space Force was a joke. I didn't think there was really a Space Force until I saw people walking around with a uniform. And I was just so awed. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's really something.
It sounds like a Seth MacFarlane thing.
Yeah. But I roll it back to the OG of the Space Force. The one that saved us from the aliens on 4th of July.
Men in Black? Oh.
Will Smith.
Oh, Will Smith.
Yeah, remember Independence Day when he saved the United States? Or he saved the world, basically.
Saved the world.
Yeah, so I always give it up to Will Smith for that. Like, I hate that Jada put him through all that stuff. Especially how many times he saved the world in his life. It's tough.
Bad Boys for Life.
Bad Boys for Life, and then Hancock.
Hancock was a good movie.
Hancock is a good movie. Hancock, and then when he saved the world in New York with the zombies. What's the name of that movie?
Oh, Legend. No, was it?
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. That's a good movie.
That's a really good movie.
But I like those dystopian type, like end of the world kind of movies. I even like, this is like very unpopular. What's his name? Kevin Costner, The Postman. I don't know if you've seen The Postman. I haven't. It's that and Waterworld are considered like these big, like epic flops that like nobody really liked and everything. And I think there's two of the best movies out there.
We're gonna skip around a little bit talking about movies. Tell us about the show they're recording in San Antonio now.
Oh, well, they're not recording in San Antonio. I'm talking about The Floor.
Yeah.
So it's on KABB. It's on Channel 11 and Fox, local Fox station. It's on Fox everywhere. Rob Lowe, for us Gen Xers, big fan of Rob Lowe and the Rat Pack, or what used to be called the Brat Pack back in the day with Molly Ringwald and Judd Nelson, all them. But Rob Lowe is hosting, and it's called The Floor. And it's really simple concept. If you've got a grid of 100 people, they each got their own square, and they all have a topic of expertise, if you will. And they challenge somebody else's topic they randomize it, pick somebody, and they challenge them. If they get it, whoever they'll show wins that battle, which the battle consists of them showing a picture, and you have to just like name a bird, whatever, Orioles and all that, and whoever knows the most gains territory. Well, one of the contestants is from San Antonio. I think her name is Stephanie Franklin or something like that. I think it's her name. And after like the second episode, she had the most territory under control, if you will. And each episode, whoever has the most territory gets $20,000. So she won $20,000 then. And then the next episode, somebody had the choice to challenge her for the final challenge. They have 8 challenges during the day and during the episode, and they could challenge her or they could challenge somebody else. If we challenged somebody else, they would tie. And he chose to challenge them, so he ended up getting it. So she got to split the $20,000. So early on, they're going for $250,000 overall, but she's already won $30,000, and she's representing San Antonio extremely well. So good luck to Stephanie on that.
Yeah, awesome. $30,000
for knowing some random crap.
Yeah, that would make a good down payment on a house.
It would make a good down payment on a house.
Just throwing that out there, Stephanie.
Or get you a long ways in securing a hard money lending to do a flip and secure some rental property.
It would.
It's amazing what you can do with just a little bit of capital, a little bit of knowledge, and a little bit of time.
Yep. So we got to go short AMC again and take it to the moon and start building.
You're all in on that.
Apartment complexes.
You made some money on AMC, didn't you?
I did make some money on AMC.
Did you make money on GameStop too?
I didn't. I accidentally fell into AMC. So it was like on the 22nd, I think it was June. I was scrolling through Robinhood. I used to scroll through Robinhood like Facebook because I was going to be a stock trader. And I saw AMC and it was $2 and some change. And I said, COVID's just about over in my opinion. Are we getting through the pandemic? People are going to start going to the movies again. Let me buy a few $100s of this for $2 a share. A few days later, I woke up and realized I was part of a movement going to the moon.
You're part of a movement. I'm part of a movement.
Yeah. So, I was diamond hands and not selling. And then I held on to it too long and I didn't make any money. But yeah, I did the same thing with Dogecoin. But so don't take stock advice from me.
No.
But you could take some real estate advice from me.
I've always been afraid. As you know, I play poker. I like to play poker. It's a great game, strategy, thinking. Someone told me the other day, "Oh, you're a gambler," and I'm like, "No." I was like, because I don't equate the poker with the gamble. Like for me though, like stock and stuff like that, it's such a gamble. Unless you're following, there's a Twitter account called Unusual Wells. I think they have TikTok account and stuff like that, and he follows all of the Congress and all of their stock trades so that you can kind of mirror their stock trade. That's the way that I would invest. Whatever Congress is investing in, I feel like that's the safest bet when it comes to stocks.
If I get back into trading or doing any of that type of stuff, I'm probably just going to pick up some sort of AI algorithm that does it for me. I've heard of people having some success with that, so that'll probably be my intel to it.
I've heard some people using that for betting sports also. They use the AI algorithm to figure out all their sports bets and stuff. And they're like 80-90% accurate.
Yeah.
Which is better than I haven't done sports betting since I was 21. Again, I don't like to gamble.
Then we talked about Dogecoin. I did the same thing. I bought Dogecoin for like a 20th of a cent. It was like 0.002. And then it went up to 79 cents per Dogecoin. So I put like $100 in there. It could have been worth $30,000-$40,000. But I sold it a few weeks before that movement started.
You weren't part of that movement?
Yeah, so don't take stock advice from me unless we're taking over the world and going to the moon.
Here's if you're a realtor out there and you want my stock advice, I would say join Real as a brokerage. Part of our commissions, we're able to buy stock and get a 10% bonus. That's the only stock that I have is Real Broker, which is for me. I think it's a great way to put a little bit of money, try to capture some of the come up on it when it comes up. I think it's going to come up just because I think real estate in general, any real estate related stock is going to be going up over the next few years because we've had such a more difficult time. It's been a little bit of a different type of market, and so our most real estate stocks are down a little bit. So Burns International Group, part of Real Broker, that's where I invest.
Yeah, and we are not financial advisors. Just a quick disclaimer.
For sure. So
take it as you will. One thing I do like about Real stock purchase program is you get a bonus on it when you buy it. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much the buffer because if the stock goes down 10%, You still break even.
Still break even.
So that's my look at that.
And it's and compared to like other brokerages and everything, it's actually on the NASDAQ. It's actually tradable. As soon as you get it, like the part that you pay for with your commissions, you can trade it the next day if you wanted to. So
if you're an agent,
liquid assets.
If you're an agent, hit us up if you want more information. We're not going to go too far into that.
No. But this podcast brought to you by Burns Investment Group and Real Broker. That's our ad for the day.
Whether you're looking to buy, sell, invest, develop, build, whatever you want to do, we can help you with that. Residential or commercial.
And speaking of developing, as San Antonio, we know, is developing all over San Antonio. A lot of stuff they're doing down off Josephine Street, West Josephine Street. They're building those new apartments. There's the yacht club. There's a little food truck area right there that has like the Naco Mexican, their chilaquiles truck there. But I went to lunch the other day, right there where I think it's Carabine and Shaw. They've got they've got some office space there, but they've also put some restaurants, and they put a coffee shop called Cream Social, which is a nice little coffee shop there. But Hooked Land and Sea is the restaurant that we went to. Great little place. Great place to have lunch with your daughter or with your friend or anything. It's they have happy hour every day, Monday through Friday. So if you want to have an afternoon cocktail, you can. But they've got everything. They've got it set up where it's shared food, lettuced food, hooked food, bunned food, tortilla food, and hooked. So it's a little. They've got stuff on tortillas. They've got stuff on hamburger buns. They got things, lettuce wraps. They've got shareables, and they've got everything from American to Mexican to Asian fusion. They have fish and chips. Like, it's really just all kinds of food, and it's super good stuff.
So that's a good way to put we serve everything.
We serve everything, and it's. I mean, I was really impressed.
I really like that area right there on Josephine Street. They made an apartment complex or a condo complex. I think it's called Ten Top.
It's right there. That's where it says Ten Top is within that same little. It's like an agora, like an open mall kind of thing where you can walk across this little brickyard, and there's the Ten Top, and then you've got some law offices, and then you got the Cream Social coffee place. It overlooks the river, so you can sit down and the river's right there. It's a little bit loud because it's on the bend of 281 where Brackenridge is on the other side. Mm-hmm. So you hear the cars and stuff like that, and so hopefully no one jumps over the railing.
Hopefully they fall first.
But no, it's a great little restaurant down there. So if anybody's in that area, you want to try a new restaurant, it's a good place.
I love that whole Pro area. There was a couple lots down there I wish I would have bought that we ended up listing and selling. There was a couple there on Park Place, and then I think some on McLean.
It's really, they've got a lot of good stuff going on down there and it's a good mix. You've got condos, you've got townhomes, you've got single-family homes, you got apartment complexes, again, with the mixed use, with the restaurants and office space. It's kind of a great design for what we're doing and how the city is developing the city, right?
And again, I think that's probably one of the reasons why our office space market downtown is doing better than the other major cities in Texas.
Well, if you look at our downtown compared to Dallas, like, who wants to live in downtown Dallas? Like, I've had the opportunity to go there a lot for volleyball tournaments and things like that. And as soon as the weekend comes in Dallas, Texas, there's nothing. The restaurants are closed down. They're only open during the week and it's all office. And so if people aren't going down there for the office space, it's slowly declining, and we're seeing it with a lot of homeless people in those areas and stuff. Like that's where my laptop got stolen at a volleyball tournament in Dallas. It's like, I was talking to some people the other day. It's like a lot of things happen at volleyball tournaments.
Yeah, didn't you lose your phone too?
I lost my phone. Yeah, was that us talking about it? I think I ended up telling somebody else about that. Still bitter. Everybody sees my broken phone and they're like, think I need to get a new one. But it's like,
or a case.
Last one got stolen. It's like, we'll just leave it the way it is. Someone's going to take this one too eventually. I'm a little bit jaded.
And speaking of homeless, they're actually rolling out a development down off of South Presa. Mm-hmm. I think it's the Sam's Ministry.
Yes.
They actually got some property rezoned where I think they're going to build 200 to 300 apartment units to help house the homeless.
and there's going to be a 25-acre park, 219 different units and stuff like that. And we need to start doing something for the homeless. Like it's San Antonio is not where other cities are when it comes to our homeless problems. For better or worse, we've got a lot of we maintain like it's a touchy subject, right? Because I don't want to say we corral them to certain areas and stuff like that, but we have a lot of ministries like the SAM ministries and a lot of nonprofits that really do provide some great services. Like Travis Park Presbyterian Church downtown, they do a lot of good stuff. We've done some stuff where we volunteered at the church under the bridge where they do the feeding. They feed the homeless and stuff. They come to service, stuff like that. So we have a lot of great organizations that really support or try to support in the best way people that are unhoused.
Yeah. And there's actually a pastor, his name is Jimmy Robles. He tried to make a like tiny home community to help with the homeless problem. And something happened with the city and he wasn't able to open it here in San Antonio. So I think they ended up moving it to a different city or something like that. So yeah, San Antonio is great. I mean, we have our struggles just like anybody else, and I guess they couldn't get the zoning and whatnot figured out for that.
For sure, but it seems like now that San Antonio is doing something and has another area where they're going to be doing some things to help with that issue here in San Antonio and provide some housing for those that are in need.
Yeah, and did you see that they're making a senior housing community?
They can again. It's taking what we already have in San Antonio and repurposing it and using it to help those that are in need. I think there's an old grocery warehouse that's downtown that they are repurposing and turning into. I don't know. I can't remember how many units it's going to be, but it's going to be for elderly assisted living, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's nice. I mean, San Antonio is working on getting ahead of some of the issues that the city has, that every city has. So I feel like they're making some progress towards it. I think sometimes stuff gets tied up in zoning and red tape and things like that a little too much.
Well, we had not too long ago. It's now defunct. They no longer are funding. It's the nonprofit SA 2020. It's 2024 now, so they kind of wrapped it up. They are no longer doing the things that they were doing, but up until that time, I think it started in 2016 or 2014, somewhere around that time frame, and they really made some concerted efforts. It was one of the first times that a nonprofit worked with the city to really kind of have some concerted efforts in how we were developing to make it where it's both friendly for those that want to live in an urban environment and everything like that, but also providing some great opportunities from an economic standpoint for the city.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things that's exciting with that, I'm not sure if you've seen, we have so many charter schools opening up here in the city. I don't know if that's the case throughout the country, but there's so many kids going to the charter schools, getting out of the public schools, is a lot of the public schools are actually boiling them down and cutting some campuses that aren't where they need to be.
Well, the South San Antonio or San Antonio School District, they cut, I think, 13 campuses, or something like that, to kind of readjust where all the kids are going. And I don't know if it's if it's a lack of attendance and there's less people living in that area, which is again why more development that we can get to downtown into the south side and things like that, so that we can bring in fresh money, fresh economic development, everything, so that these school districts do have the ability to thrive and such.
I don't think it's a shortage of people living in the area. I think it's having more options as far as education. So that's making a big effect because most of these charter schools have 300 to 500 students, and they came from somewhere.
Yeah. The ideas and stuff like
Ideas, Jubilee. There's a few different big ones here in the city.
Well, there's a big push right now for voucher programs and things like that, and I'm not sure where I stand on them right now. I used to be 100% for vouchers and having people have the opportunity to send their kids where they want to send. I've heard some opposing sides of it from educators, from friends of mine that are principals and things like that made me kind of reevaluate. So it's like so many political decisions and thoughts and things like that. It's like you can hear one way and you hear the other side of it, and they both make a lot of sense. And I think deep down, whichever side of the politics that you fall to, everybody's trying to do good for everybody else and do the right thing. It's just everybody has different opinions on how to get there, and it seems like whatever other side you're on, the way that the other team wants to do it, it's like the purest of evil ways to do it. So it's like you can't find any common ground. It's like, but we're still trying. We ultimately don't want people living on the street. Nobody wants people living on the street.
So
but they're living on the street.
Yeah, it's a tough subject. I think a lot of times with situations when people go to solve problems, I think their human nature kicks in and they think about me first and then think about everybody else. I think that's what happens a lot of times with situations like that. But we're going to move on to the entertainment segment just because we can probably go all day talking about.
I don't like talking politics, though.
I don't either.
It's my least favorite thing.
Yeah, I'll change the subject before I dive too deep into politics, especially nowadays. Back in the day, people used to be able to choose a side and still be friends. Nowadays, it's tough for people to wrap their head around somebody has a different opinion than them.
Things seem volatile sometimes.
Yeah. So
let's go play pickleball.
Pickleball. Fastest growing sport in the last 3 years.
Fastest growing. I don't know how much you've played. I play about once a month with a couple friends of mine and everything like that. I love it. It's a great, easy workout that it's not overly taxing on your body. It's overly taxing on my shoulder, but that's just because I just have a horrible shoulder that I've dislocated like 3 times and.
That's usually what happens. Like your shoulder gets sore when you carry the team.
I don't care. I don't carry any team. I played in a league with Thrive Mortgage. They put on a pickleball league for us for a bunch of people. They had I think we had 13 teams, and we played for I think it was 7 weeks straight, and playing every week. I couldn't do it. My shoulder, by the end of it, I had to take 2 months to do nothing because my shoulder, just the age of myself and the injuries. But if I just play once a month, I'm good.
I think it's cool. There's a lot of neighborhood parks. There's a lot of areas that are adding pickleball courts. And I hadn't heard about pickleball until maybe a few years ago. When they opened up Chicken and Pickle here in San Antonio, I had never even heard about it before. I had to Google it and figure out what exactly it was.
I saw briefly there's another one. It's not Chicken and Pickle, but it's another company like that that's opening up, I think, over in the Shirts area. But it's like you said, a lot of the parks are doing it. The YMCA, there's a lot of the older people that are there that are used to playing tennis and be able to go in the tennis courts, and now half their tennis courts are pickleball courts. They're not the happiest of people. But it's something that gets people out that even the elderly, and I'm not quite elderly, but I'm getting close to elderly, are able to go out there and compete and have fun and it's a good thing. We need more ways to entertain us because, we don't have enough things to occupy our time.
I mean, you fought in the Alamo. I mean,
I did.
You're not elderly.
I don't know if I'd say fought. I was there. I was asleep at the wheel.
But yeah, so I mean, I see that the MLS now has, which MLS is the multiple listing service when you're selling a property, that's where they get listed in. They have a description, or they have a spot where there's a pickleball court in the neighborhood.
I was showing one of my clients a property that's part of Santerra within their conglomerate of neighborhoods. And one of the amenities specifically stated is you can check off now pickleball, which when we both started in real estate, that wasn't an option to put on there as one of the amenities for the neighborhood.
So if pickleball players and tennis players, because obviously people don't get along, who would win if they fought?
I'm going with the tennis players.
The tennis players?
They're usually younger.
Probably in better shape
they have to move more. They'll be younger. But you never underestimate an old person with a racket, a paddle. They've been paddling kids for a long time. We don't paddle kids anymore. They come from an age where kids used to get paddled still.
Yeah. Different times, right?
Different times.
So yeah, we're just about wrapping up. So I think we talked about time does fly. I think we talked about some good subjects on this podcast today, kind of letting you know what's going on down in the downtown area. New restaurants coming out.
Let us know what restaurants y'all like. We'd love to try them out, talk to them, or and highlight any local businesses that are in San Antonio. Even if it's not a restaurant, maybe it's a local lawn care provider, maybe it's a mobile detail unit, someone that services anything that's local that we can highlight that may be unique and special that people don't know about. Love to talk to them, talk about them.
Yeah, shoot us a message. Let us know what your local business is so that we can highlight it. We're not looking for any freebies or any handouts. We're looking to show everybody what's great about San Antonio.
And I'm looking for new things to try as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you guys later. Tell your friends. Share it with your neighbor. We'll see y'all later.
Keep pointing.